Welcome to the Two Tunes podcast, where I screwed up heavily and
God,
recorded
Bo.
for like a minute, but didn't record any of our...
Recorded for like several minutes.
And it was good too.
Yeah.
And nothing was... I look over, and I'm like, there's absolutely nothing. I'm Bo.
Gotta recreate... I'm Brandon, mad now. Gotta recreate this whole story I was telling.
Where did we start?
Okay, so...
We're old.
We're old. Well, hang on. Let me back up. So
were
I got
born in the
the
1900s.
5 Iron Frenzy vinyl complete discography box set.
Yes, and the
Okay.
box looks like a...
Box looks like a dumpster.
Yes.
So anyway, I posted...
Not on fire.
No. I posted about sharing, like introducing my students to 5 Iron Frenzy, and like they thought it was really, like they were like into it. And then one of my friends, Kayla, she responded. She's like, "Oh my god, I used to love them. Like Cheeses of Nazareth was the first album that I ever bought with my own money."
And cheeses.
Cheeses, yes, because
Okay.
the Christian band, ska band, so funny and whatever.
Cheeses.
But anyway, she said about that, like, that was the first album I ever bought with my own money. And then I was like, wait, I remember Cheeses of Nazareth, but I was like, that's not in this set. I was like, what is it? And then, like, that's not a CD I own by them or whatever. Well,
Really?
it's like a greatest hits compilation that they put out in like 2003, like after they broke up. And so that I was like, oh. And then you have that moment of like, oh, this is my friend, but we're like 10 years different.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the story the thing I was getting at with Bo off mic, apparently. Was about like when you're an adult,
It was
especially
off mic.
like, you know, now I'm 40 and whatever, and like you have adult friends who are 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you don't always like
We're all the same age after 18.
after
or
or
20.
25 maybe.
Yeah, probably
after 25, like you're all fairly, you know, although I'm also like friends or acquaintances with like some 27-year-olds, and I'm like, yeah, that's a big difference there sometimes. But
Yeah.
but anyway, but that thing of just like, oh yeah, if you flash back to 2003 when I was in college and she was 12 or whatever, like, you know.
You ever seen those things? It's like, why weren't we together earlier? And it's like this couple.
Oh yeah.
And then like they go back.
Because like he
and
was a senior in high school and she was in kindergarten or whatever, or like
Exactly.
preschool. Have you ever seen that SNL sketch?
I'm just gonna say.
Oh
no.
god, it's like one of their like game show sketch things.
Okay.
And it's like, I forget what the title of it is, but it's like meet your next wife or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the first guy, like the first contestant's up, and they're like, "Hey man, welcome," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm glad to be here." Whatever. Like they don't really know what the show is.
Yeah.
And they're like, they bring out this woman and she's like 25, or like she's just graduating college and blah blah blah, and they're like, "She's gonna be your next wife," and he's like, "What?"
Oh, yeah, I do remember
then-
the sketch. I was like, wait, no,
Yeah,
no.
and then the next one, and then they talk about like how his wife's gonna die or like how they're gonna split up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next contestant, the next one that comes out, she's like 8. The
Yeah.
girl that they bring out is like 8, and they're like, no. And they're like, you know, you're a college professor and you're gonna meet blah blah blah. Or so, I forget what the whole premise is. And then the third one comes out and it's like this like now it's like like another
appropriate-
college student or maybe like appropriate level thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, actually, she's pregnant right now, and that's going to be your next wife or whatever. And it's so messed up.
Yes.
But it cracks me up. I also like recently searched for that one because I was like, oh, I remember that one being really funny and awful.
Yeah.
And it was.
Do you watch current episodes of Saturday Night
I
Live?
watch current clips sometimes.
Just clips.
On YouTube.
Okay, so no, not because like 2 weeks ago, maybe some.
Shane Gillis.
Was he from Central Pennsylvania?
Oh, I don't know.
And got canceled, got fired from the show or
he
something?
did, yeah, and then was back.
And then I don't know.
He's an interesting case. I'm not super familiar with his stuff, but like
Neither am
I've seen several of his stand-up clips, and like the whole thing is that like people on the left are like, yeah, he's really like he's doing a lot of like good satire and sticking it to the right, and then all the people on the right are like, he's saying all the things that we think or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of just rides that line of like, yep, whoever, I'm just gonna get paid. Like I'm gonna do jokes that seem like they could be satire, but also seem like they could be real.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna ride that line the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I saw a lot of like, there was a lot of stuff about even like his opening monologue, and like somebody was like calling out the one woman in the band that you could see like over his shoulder, and
The
like,
guitar player or
I forget, and they're like, she's not even paying attention. Look at her, she's just talking during the thing and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, they got to play. They got to
have
do
a
stuff.
job.
So
Their
she's
job
like,
is not
so
to
she's like looking at the time, and they're going, okay, like he's running 2 minutes over. That means we got to cut the bridge on this and do that. Like, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
2 minutes over.
or whatever. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that. They're working.
Yeah.
They just happen to be in the shot with him.
Yep.
Like
Exactly. Plus that one, like every time I notice it, because I think it's the guitar player just sits there and stays there.
Yeah.
And then there's a percussionist behind her.
okay.
And she'll go off. And then when like their time to come, then she'll come back on. And be
Gotcha.
like, all right, now I'm going to play
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah. This is the Two Tunes where we talk about two tunes
Yeah. In life sometimes.
and sometimes life. So, this is the newest song ever.
Newest song ever.
Like from time of release till time of putting it on the podcast. The fastest.
What do you mean?
It came out on Friday.
No, we just did that.
Did we? Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Like 3 weeks ago or whatever, like a month
Okay,
ago.
the second fastest.
What would be really good is if we somehow had like a song
Like it's going to be released
like released
today.
on Tuesday.
Like the day of this release.
Some artists still are putting out their music on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, I like it back in the day when
Yeah.
things were released on a day and like you could. And
Well, now it's on Fridays. That's the thing.
yeah, but like so are movies.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going to listen to this record this weekend, and I'm going to go see that movie.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to do anything for the rest of the week.
Right.
Or
Did you see
whatever.
Dune 2?
I have not seen Dune 2.
Dune 2? I didn't see Dune 1, so I'm not seeing this one yet.
I mean, I want to go see. Dune
You've
2.
seen the meme, right?
How you doing?
Well, that
Which
one, but the one from Diedrich Bader when he was in Office Space.
No,
You don't know that one?
no. Just explain.
Because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna see Dune, or yeah, I'm excited about Dune 2. Dune 2 chicks at the same time,
Yes. Okay.
right? From Office Space, because he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
that line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent that to a friend of mine, and they did not understand the reference.
Were they 10 years younger than you?
Yes,
There you go. We're old. All right.
because they
so-
were talking about them anyway. Yeah.
So songs, two tunes, new person. So I was on my way to an appointment, and I was just like, let's go. Like, let's on Apple Music go to. It was Friday, so it was like new releases, and then I
Yep.
just like scrolled down and be like, that looks like a cool cover. Click,
Nice.
and I was listening. I was like, oh, this is okay. This is all right. This is cool. All right, it's getting better. Like not just the song, but like the album itself. Because
Okay.
like the first song was like, oh, it's acoustic guitar and emo rapper.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the second song was kind of like that, and like, oh, it's gonna. And I think it was even the same chord progression was the first song and the second song. I'm like, this is okay. And then it just kept going. I'm like, this kind of
It's growing on you.
it's growing on me. And then I looked at the credits when I was at a red light, very long red light with, you know, that intersection. People, this is gonna be super boring. So like, 322 by Walmart, but not the Walmart one.
Say that again.
322. Is
Yeah.
it 322?
Yeah.
And then Walmart, but like you keep going, and then there's that light that like the road behind Walmart would come up to that light. And
Oh,
there's
you're
like
talking about the
and Chambers Hill Road comes down to it.
The Chambers Hill Grayson Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nyes Road, like all that stuff they're doing.
It is.
They're
no,
gonna
no, just that intersection. Are they changing that intersection?
They're changing. It's like a 4-year project. They're changing that whole thing.
So there are 6. 1, 2,
There's 6
3.
lights.
There's 6 roads that
Yeah.
meet at this one intersection.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm going to die every time I go through it.
Yeah, if you're just going straight on the highway, you're totally fine.
Oh, yeah,
if you're
that's
going
easy.
anywhere else,
Anywhere else, it's like you're going to die.
Yeah, I'm surprised there are not accidents there daily.
Well, what? Yeah. So,
But
yeah.
they're changing the whole thing. You should look it up. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's too many.
There's going to be a jug handle. There's going to be a roundabout. And there's going to be other things. It's
I don't know what a-
nuts.
I don't know
jug
what a
handle?
jug handle is. I mean,
You do. They go out. They do like this.
all right. So the artist is named Ian Dior,
Yeah.
and I was going down through, and I'm like, oh look, songwriter John Feldman,
Sure. I don't know who that is.
Goldfinger,
Oh, okay.
also produced the Used, the
Okay.
first Used record,
Uh-huh.
and writes like he's very hands on when he does production and stuff. So he will any song that he's a producer on, he has a writing credit on because he'll like, oh, this is really great, but how about how we add this and add this and add this? So very much when he is your producer, he is also a co-write.
Yeah.
And then what was also really cool about it is that they're listing the spatial mixing engineers.
Oh.
Because I look at that. Mm-hmm. So the Dolby Atmos mixes. But Iann Dior. Here, let me pull up the old Wikipedia. They were born in the 1900s, 1999 to be precise. Michael Ian Olmo. They are from Puerto Rico originally, but then moved to Corpus Christi. Corpus Krispies.
There needs to be a chicken place in Corpus Christi called Corpus Crispy.
Okay, I was thinking of like Krispy Kreme, but Corpus Christi Krispy Kreme, Texas, and emo rap, pop rap, hip hop, alternative rock, pop rock. I don't think it's as rap as it could be.
No, huh? It reminds me of Black Bear.
Yeah. But so, what other names would you associate with this kind of style of music? Like individual people.
Juice WRLD in a way, but like he's more rap.
Yeah. But like collaborators. Like who could have been on, like worked with this person in the past that has their own thing?
Oh God, I don't know.
The drums are not on here. Okay, so Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, okay. Oh,
He has worked with.
Yeah, MGK makes sense.
Yeah, both of those people before. It's like, oh yeah, totally, because they're kind of like, I don't want to say
Remember
like
transplants.
Yes, yes. We're not going to go there. Anyways,
I just was like,
so this song is called "Kill You Slowly" off of the Blind EP, which like just came out. Mm-hmm. Not as of this
as
episode,
of recording.
Yeah. As of recording this episode. So here, and Iann Dior is also all lowercase.
Yes,
and Ian with 2 N's.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling is weird. 'Cause I love you, but don't wanna be.
He reminds me of Sean Matthews.
Okay.
His voice.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel bad for Sean. Because it's like, well, you sound like this guy.
Well.
And this guy is already.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not even good enough for myself. Ain't coming out the way I want to. It's always hard for me to explain what I'm going through. Say I love you, say I need you when it's half true. Made me sick to my stomach when I lie to you. Oh, I said what I said just to keep.
I did listen to another song of theirs.
Yeah.
Sort of
on this album
by accident, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like it just auto played after something else. It's called Funeral.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Has similar vibe and stuff. Sorry, The Funeral.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's the next.
It might be the next track on this.
It's definitely on this record, though.
It is. It's the next one. It's because it's, yeah.
Which is the 6th song, the last track.
Yeah, it's solid.
Little 2.5 minute banger.
Catchy lyrics and good production, and
yeah. As I was listening, this is the 5th song on the 6 song EP.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily the one, like the first 2 I was kind of like, yeah, okay, all right. And then like by the 3rd song I'm like, okay, And then
Yeah.
this one was like, oh, this is the song that I'm going to bring to the
sure.
podcast.
Yeah.
So very quickly, there were two other records that I was like listening to.
Mm-hmm.
One was the 35th anniversary of De La Soul record,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm like, no.
No, what do you mean no?
I was
just like that it was 35 years old.
I wasn't digging it.
Oh,
Like a 35-year-old record.
okay.
I wasn't digging it. I'm like, what? Like, because there were some dumb songs on it.
Sure.
Because like a lot of like early hip hop, like you had some really great songs, then you had like, oh, this is just a joke,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, like there's a game show,
Yeah.
like sketches,
skits
which
sketches
is like
they
fine,
do,
which
yeah.
is like part of that
Yeah.
tradition, which I don't know if they do anymore. Do
No,
they put
I don't think so. Although I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to like a hip hop album.
like so? Yeah, I don't listen to enough hip hop. As far as albums go,
Yeah, I listen to singles. And stuff.
so the last one that I can remember, is super old, is Eminem.
Okay.
So like the first couple records, there's sketches in
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
or Dr.
Well, because
Dre.
that still would have been
Exactly. It's
in
only like
that-
10 years in, 20
Yeah.
years in, not even 20 years in, but 10 to 20 years in
That's funny.
of having these sketches. And it's like, oh yeah, this is still a thing.
Yeah.
Let's push it a little further, a little further, a little further. And then at some point was probably like, we don't need those sketches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure somebody's still doing it
Oh,
in some way.
definitely. Somebody's doing it somewhere.
Wasn't Kanye doing that like in some of his early things too?
I don't really know.
I feel like I don't know. Yeah, I've been listening to enough like albums.
I don't think anyone does, but that's,
Well-
I'm probably wrong in that
Yeah.
people are listening to less albums.
Cool.
Yes, very cool.
All right, my turn.
Your turn.
This band is called Acres.
Is it?
Yes,
Are they featuring anyone?
they are. It's
Okay.
featuring Silent Planet. Which okay, so like 2 weeks ago or whenever I had that song by Dear Youth that featured.
Yeah.
It really just featured the singer,
Yeah.
but it also had listed like the band that he was in. So I think that's kind of what's going on with this as
Yeah.
well. Like it's like the one vocalist from Silent Planet, but like
I think
they just
I
tag
think
the band, which makes sense because like the singer doesn't usually have, unless they have a side project under their own name,
Yeah.
they wouldn't even have like a tag. You know what I mean? It makes more sense to tag the band.
Yeah, because then it'll actually live somewhere
Right.
that has other things, so people listen.
Some people
through
are
it.
like, "Oh, Silent Planet. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
what's this song that they're on?" Yeah,
One of the features of having a feature is that it's going to draw more people to the thing
Correct.
because you have two different audiences
yeah,
that may not listen to the other. So if you have it on both, but if it's just the singer,
yeah.
the singer doesn't have any
Correct.
web presence besides being in that band.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they could,
Yeah.
but then who are they gonna like? Well, this isn't really their country record that they've been putting
Right.
out.
Yeah. Now this is Silent Planet and Acres very much live in the same realm.
Yes.
Like they could tour together, no problem. They're label mates now, which is how I know of Acres at all. Because I follow Solid State and Tooth and Nail, and they are a recent signing to Solid State Records. And they just recently released a single called A Different Shade of Misery, which is the first thing I heard from them, which I really liked. And then I was like, oh, like let's hear what else they have. And then this was their most recent album, which is called Burning Throne. And then this is the title track, which is called Nothing, period.
Would it be a title track?
No. What did I say?
You said title track.
Opening track.
Opening
That's what I
track.
meant to say. Sorry.
right.
There is a title track, which is track 2.
All right, here's
This is the
Nothing
opening track.
with a period.
Nothing with period. Acres featuring Silent Planet.
I still think it's gonna be quiet. Or maybe it is just compressed. No, it's quiet.
Crank it up.
Well, it's all the way up for them.
Oh, okay.
I'll change it. Oh my god, it's so bad. So like,
I was looking at the waveforms.
that's my song.
Yeah.
That's your song. I'll turn it up for us, not them. I mean, I will turn it up for them eventually,
Yeah.
but I'll have to edit it.
Sure.
What's the record label?
They're currently on Solid State. This album is on, I don't know. Oh, A Wolf at Your Door Records and Silva Screen Records.
Okay.
And then Lonely World was their debut in 2019. So on the same labels and stuff.
And this is the only track that has Silent Planet on it, right?
Yes. Which I think is the heavier vocals.
Yeah. There's also a deluxe edition of this album.
Okay.
That has 3 songs that are reimagined and then 2 live.
Nice.
So Burning Throne and Nothing are live.
Okay.
And then Burning Throne, Feel Anything, and Hold On are reimagined.
Nice. We'll check that out.
Which that came out in August of 23.
Okay. I've been meaning to bring Silent Planet in as well.
Yeah.
They're a band I like, but I don't listen to enough, if that kind of makes sense. Like, every time I listen, I'm like, oh yeah, I do like this band. Like, I just don't know why. I haven't been listening to as much heavy music in the last couple years. Or if I do, I go back to, like, stuff, like more comfort food type things, you know what I mean? Like, go back to Under Oath and some bands like that. Their newest single, though, very has more of that kind of vocals on it.
Yeah, the screaming.
Yeah. And other tracks on here do as well, but this one's definitely more. Yeah, I'm interested to hear the new stuff they have that'll come out. I'm assuming it said more coming in 2024, so I'm assuming they're writing like newer singles and different things.
Yep.
I've not listened to their first album yet, just this one.
Acres?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole album is really good though. I was like, oh, I'll pick the title track. I like, or
Opening track.
Opening track, because that was the first one I heard. And well, technically the first song I heard was their newest single, but then I wanted to pick something off of like their album that they had out. So yeah, but I dig them. I'm anxious to hear more from them.
Like Smacks.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm talking
yes,
about?
I know what you're talking about. Speaking of old things.
Do they still exist?
Probably.
Can you go to the store and get Smacks?
Probably.
Is the frog still the...
You should be. Dig 'em frog.
Dig 'em the frog?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So there's Acres.
Yeah.
From the UK, by the way.
Nice. Speaking of UK.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, we had Bush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's like that was the segue. Talking about Bush, but also talking about other Canadian bands.
Okay.
Even though I know they're not Canadian. So the other day,
this is your segue from the UK to Canada.
Yeah, the UK to Canada. Sure.
Colonizers.
So there's a show in our area from a band called Big Wreck. You probably have no idea who Big Wreck is.
Nope.
Big Wreck is a Canadian band. And as I've mentioned on previous podcasts, the reason that I have a connection to Canada is I grew up across the lake from London, Ontario, and listened to a London, Ontario radio station.
Yeah.
It was my favorite radio station. So we heard Big Wreck a lot. And I was like, oh yeah. And I mentioned it to my brother and it's like, we should go to this show. And I was like, I don't really know who that is. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Like, go to more shows. And then later on he comes back. He's like, but you know what other Canadian band is playing on June 1st in our area? Our Lady Peace. which we've had on the podcast before.
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast, Our Lady Peace. They're the openers.
Okay.
Second up is Daughtry.
Nice.
Not the headliners, but the headliners are Bush.
I did see that they're going to be around.
Yeah, so my brother was like, we should go to that, and we should bring our kids. And I'm like, if you can, and like, Mom can come too. And I'm like, okay, if you can convince Mom to go, then we'll go. So we bought tickets. We needed 5 tickets.
Uh-huh.
So like me, my brother, my mother, and then his oldest daughter, and then Caprica.
Yeah.
But you can only buy 4 at a time. What? So they bought 3, and then they're like, okay, we'll go back in. And then like, where's the nearest seats? So we bought these 2. So like, there's like 3 seats, and then like the row in front and over, there's 2 seats.
Amazing.
So we have that. And then my daughter's like, I'm sitting next to Lily, who's my niece.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So you can have those 2.
Grandma going to get the... Oh, you're going to put the 2
No,
girls? Okay.
no. It's going to be like, they're going to be in the back. Because first off, they probably don't care at all.
Right.
It's like me and my brother are the ones who are like, we want to go see this.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really my brother, but I'll be fine with it. I've seen Our Lady Peace like 3 or 4 times now. Never seen Bush, and couldn't even tell you a Daughtry song. I know who Daughtry is. I know he was on American Idol.
Yeah.
And he was the rock guy. So...
Yeah, you would know. I couldn't name a song, but you would know. Home?
As I said, I don't know. I have no clue.
Home, I think.
Home is where?
Others.
I mean, I listen to some and I'm like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But I don't really listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah.
Now that I have Apple Music connected to my car.
Right.
Like, why would I listen to the radio?
Yeah.
It's weird. I think that's weird. Is that you? That's you.
That's
You're
me.
blowing up over there. All right. Any farewell? Hey, I want to thank you, the listener, for listening to 167 episodes. And if you haven't listened to
Or 2. Or 1.
or
Yeah.
just this one, making it 27 minutes into a podcast.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. And if you appreciate us, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell
Like
an enemy.
follow. Follow's the new thing.
Follow.
Not subscribe. You follow podcasts now.
Do you? Okay.
Apparently. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, I have something to talk about next week.
Okay.
All right. But anyways, we will see you next week. Come join our Discord that's very inactive, even from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
In the future. Bye.
Bye.